Hello, everybody. We are those guys you hate.
Welcome to the show that encourages you to be your best self by not being like us.
My brother and I hopelessly search for nuance as we wade through wacky segments and crazy conversations.
If you can withstand the insanity, you might actually learn something.
Tyler, what are you going to be discussing on this week's episode?
Ryan, will AI destroy us, or are we meant to merge with it? The race is on to find out. And getting swatted by the police. More on that later.
I think they're the only ones who can swat you. Tyler, this week I asked the question, why, oh why are we recreating masterpieces? And I tell you what I fear is a disturbing, shameful admission. So let's walk towards the gallows together. Tyler, which one would you prefer? Have no nose but have really good smelling fingers, or be blind but have a really nice smile?
I go smelling fingers. Yeah. Because you can do fake.
No,
you can
nice,
do fake nose.
Good smelling. wait a minute.
Oh, my fingers don't do the smelling. They just smell really good. Like as if I just put lotion on them. Now I get it. I thought you meant smell through my fingers. Off to a bad start for me.
No, listen. I'm going to be upfront with you, okay? You started last show with who would you rather do drugs with, mom or dad?
It's a good question.
And I was insane with jealousy. Why? I'm a smart guy. I'm clever. I'm witty. That's fucking great. So I actually Googled funny, crazy questions to ask your friends because I got nothing.
Yeah.
I'm spent. So would you rather? Okay, that one sucks. Hold on one second. Which one would you choose? Be alive and alone, or die with a group of friends?
Well, I mean, I do like being alive, but I also hate my friends. So that's a tough one for me. Probably be alive and alone, I guess.
I mean, if you would have to be the most selfish motherfucker to choose die with a group of friends.
Yeah.
What's so funny is these ones that I waded through that involved, like, would you rather pull off a thumbnail or kick a wall with a toothpick under your toenail?
Oh my God. I've kicked off a big toenail, so I mean that's kind of the thing.
Okay.
I got one for you.
Wait, hold on. And some of them are so ridiculous. Like, would you rather cry tiny rocks or sweat pickle juice? Like, who the fuck?
Oh, definitely sweat pickle
would
juice.
Pick the rocks. What kind of sicko would do that?
Would you rather fight Mike Tyson or talk like him?
Oh, that's a mean one.
Oh no, it's not. He has a very specific voice. And the body to back it up.
Okay, but I'm just saying you're listing it as a punishment that is equivalent to fighting Mike Tyson.
Yeah, but fighting Mike Tyson would only happen one time.
But would hurt you for the rest of your life. Have you seen him recently?
Yeah, he looks good.
Holy flarking schnit.
Yeah, it looks good.
Is he just going to pummel Jake Paul?
I don't know. The thing is he doesn't have stamina, but the problem is because of how hard he could hit, he may not need it. So we'll see what happens.
Well, the thing is do you remember in Avatar how at one point Uncle Iroh, takes his cloak off
and he's shredded,
fucking jacked?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what Mike Tyson did. He was like walking with a cane, and then all of a sudden they're like, the fight is signed up, everybody's about to get $1 billion, and I saw a picture of him where he looked like an AI version of himself. Maybe it was. I'm gonna have to go back and check. But would you rather poop your pants every time someone said your name, or have maggots come out of your nose every time you sneezed?
Maggots out of my nose. I don't want to poop my pants. I really don't want to. It's very unenjoyable, I would imagine.
Oh, internet, you're usually a useless, dark place, but damn did you come through today. Welcome to Those Guys You Hate. Tyler Menendez, my murderous brother. Our parents have only a limited amount of time. How are you doing today, my man?
Good. Regarding that question, is there a limit on how many friends I can include? Can I kill everybody I consider a friend?
I guess you get to choose. Yeah, you get to pick. You get to pick your top five. You get a top.
Oh, only five?
What
then I'll live alone.
What was it on MySpace?
It was top 8.
Was it your top 8?
Top 8.
Wasn't there a fun little word for it? Your fave 5 or what? Okay,
it was top 8.
All right, guys, enough about killing your friends and let's get into self-help radio. Tyler, very quickly, I don't have a segment around this. My life has changed very much recently. I have committed myself to a boot camp of sorts, physical and otherwise. I have signed up for a yoga class situation. What do you think about? I've set this up in a way.
No, it's okay. Seems to be a really positive experience for you, albeit kind of intense with how much time you have to commit to it.
Oh, yeah. And they made me sign all of my property over. And they gave them my bank account numbers and your bank account numbers. So
good thing I don't really have all that much to give away.
They mentioned that. And they need you to bring up your numbers. And a lawyer is going to be contacting you. But nonetheless, what you said is 100% right. And I think we discussed this on the show already. I don't think that I'm selfish with much of anything. I could be cheap here and there, but if I want something, I'll buy it. If we're going out somewhere fun, I'll pay for it, whatever the deal is. I'm selfish with my time. So to give up 5 days a week, drive down to Miami, do all of this stuff, it is crazy. But what I have loved about this and something that it has called to me, and yes, I have said many times, yoga is not the act of putting yourself into the most awful and craziest positions possible. It is putting yourself into the most awful and crazy positions possible and learning to breathe through it. There's something metaphorical there. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's what yoga is. It's like meditation for your physical body.
It's meditation in physical form and learning to, while you're all crushed up, learning to breathe into those places that hurt the most, you know?
Yeah.
But what you don't realize, especially the type of yoga that we follow today, it is an 8-fold path. I won't go into all of the ridiculousness unless you want to send me your credit card information because I'm not giving this shit away for free. Asanas, which is the physicality of it, the putting yourself in those positions, is one of those 8 folds. Yoga, the idea of it is life is spiritual. Everything you do is spiritual. Brushing your fucking teeth is a tradition that should never be taken lightly. What's your thoughts on that, you fucking wacko?
That you're a kook.
Yeah.
You're just a kook. You ain't got to tell me to brush my teeth.
They won't give me my credit card information back. And now I'm locked in. It's almost like the Scientology thing. I've seen Gaxar, and I'm invested too deeply to say, this is fucking crazy. Does anybody else see that this is crazy?
Did you say that they won't give you your credit card information back?
Right.
Like they stole it from your memory and now you just can't,
Tyler,
can't recall what it is?
I'm like feeling through my wallet like a blind man, and I just, you know how they're not raised up the numbers anymore. I can't feel it.
Braille, I believe is the word you're looking for.
No, that doesn't sound right.
No,
I don't think that's it. But we'll look into it.
Well, while I do know the people who run this thing and they seem like really nice and interesting people, although that's how it starts.
Sure. They don't send the wackos out to get you.
It's true. I'm not going to be surprised if I one day come home and you've spread, flower petals on the ground because it, raises the energy in the room.
I'm inviting Kundalini into my butthole.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where it starts.
All right, now you've got my attention. Yeah.
See,
I believe that's the root chakra.
That's
if I'm
exactly
not mistaken.
right. That's exactly right. And I've been doing some gardening. So the idea is that yoga is being there and doing the physicality of it is just a very small part of it. It is every part of your life. It is morality. Your morality has so much of an effect on your mental mindset, on your physical mindset, all of these things working together. And it is truly a beautiful thing. I'm there with incredible people. I am proud of myself. It gives me something to direct my discipline towards, my compulsiveness towards, and it's something that's very positive for me. So thank you for your support.
Should eat some mushrooms before you do one of those sessions.
I will.
Trippy yoga.
She has referred to what kind of medicine do they call it?
Ayahuasca?
Yeah, but they have a name for it, so they don't use the drug name. So a spiritual medicine. She has, without saying go do drugs, she has mentioned it a handful of times.
I would try that.
I would try that.
Yeah. I want to reach a new level or plane.
Again.
Yeah.
All right, Tyler, should we go to break now or should we do Depression Index? I don't know how these new breaks work.
I say Depression Index.
Let's do what Tyler said.
No one cares.
What
You
the
don't know
Depression
what to do.
Index
The world
is
has
a
all
machine
pretend,
that I
nothing
built
really
with my newly acquired Kegel muscles, and we crank it up before you wipe it down, which I'm sure is some sort of health code violation. Tyler, this segment is about our mental health. It's about how we're feeling at this moment, and then we usually have some sort of an idea underlying.
Yes.
So, how much of that do you... You know how to do this.
Yeah.
I know. Why am I...
I've done it a few
I'm
times.
going to stop talking now.
Seamless segue, buddy. Seamless.
Tyler,
Yeah.
get me.
It's a word salad.
Sure.
I am doing. I'm okay this week. I'm struggling. I am. It's. Yeah, I start to feel, and I've talked about this so many times on the show. I start to feel better, and then my brain tricks me into thinking like, "Oh, dude, you're good. Like
You're
you
good.
got it.
We
Like
should celebrate.
You've got exactly. You've
Yeah.
got it. You can do whatever you want because look how good you feel. This isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
And then I party way too hard. Ultra weekend just passed.
My girl likes to party all the time.
Yep. I would. Did you just music reference
Party
me?
all the time. A banger.
It is a great song.
Yes.
And then I went to Ultra Weekend and I give myself that dumbass excuse of like, oh, this is a freebie weekend.
Yep.
Like, oh, it's Ultra. So, you know what? I'm going to give myself permission to treat my body like absolute dog shit.
Yep.
And then I do it, and then I pay the price later on, and I just keep going again and again and again through this cycle of getting better and then falling back and then getting better and then falling back. And I mean, it's all part of the learning process, but I would be lying if I said it doesn't get frustrating as shit. Because I've done this so many times, why can't I in those moments look at it and be like, no, I shouldn't give myself a free pass. I shouldn't do these things because I know exactly how I'm going to feel on the other side.
Well, I think your personality, I mean, first of all, such is life, right? What you just described is everybody's experience, maybe in a different way. But also, I think what you just described is addiction. And I'm not, in so many different forms, in so many different ways, we all have them. You and I, we have similar ones. And the idea is, addiction isn't just constantly doing what you know you're not supposed to do. It's that voice in your head rationalizing it. What you said that was very interesting to me in there is I'm giving myself this special thing is going on right now. If you look at it in that way, and I've been there a million times and I will be there a million times more in the future, every time is a special time. There is never going to be a week that goes by where there isn't like, I could, so
Agreed.
That is a trick that we play on ourselves.
Agreed.
So, but the fact that you have the awareness, I think, is a step in the right direction.
And thank you. But a human being's ability to disassociate from the truth is just, it's like our superpower, man, as a species. So I'm going, as I said, I'm going through it this week, and I'm going to do my best. Thank you. Do my best to. Should I do some of these smelling salts? You think the smelling salts would help?
I bet you it wouldn't hurt.
I bet you it would.
Yeah, you had a bad experience last time.
You mean I almost died?
I had a real chuckle fest over here once I knew you were okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was pretty
Which
sure.
it took about 5 to 10 minutes.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
You got to keep a brave face for the show. You know?
Well, now that I'm thinking about the smelling salts, the number has gone up even more. This week, I am going to go ahead and say that I am at an 8, Ryan.
Spin
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Well, I'm sorry to hear you're at an 8. That's pretty extreme. I will say there's nothing better than when you're doing really poorly, somebody around you who's doing really well.
Yeah. But on the flip side, when you're doing really well and someone you love is doing really poor, makes you feel even better.
Oh, dude. It is like I've almost forgot how well I'm doing. And I'm just dancing on your grave. Tyler!
Yes.
Gay it up.
Uh-huh.
Let me see what I got written down here. Okay. Something that I've talked about before on this show, and it's relevant to my life extremely. I am in yoga teacher training. I don't know if I've mentioned that before or not.
Just once or twice.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. Me, another dude, and then 9 women. Okay? That's my class. I am... Excuse me, I got a little something. Ooh.
Just the worst.
Whoa.
Just the worst. The next time, just choke on it.
That hit the roof of my mouth with velocity. So, well,
Are you feeling better? Did your number drop a little bit because of that?
I feel good. I feel pretty good.
That's great, bud.
They've been telling us to get a neti pot. Do you know about a neti pot?
Yeah, is that the one where you put through your nose?
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I've never tried it. I would be willing to.
A neti pot in a yoga, a tongue scraper. are part of the yoga teacher training. They're not telling you to do it, but they're saying try it. It cleans out your impurities.
I have a tongue scraper on my toothbrush, so I do it every night.
They say to do that the moment that you wake up, because while you're sleeping, the body gets rid of some of the toxins in your mouth. So before you even drink water, scrape your tongue. Nonetheless,
You heard it here first, folks.
Hey, listen, I'm glad that this is going on in Depression Index. It's all part of taking care of yourself. I am by far the most, I don't know the right way to say it, athletic, the most muscular in the class, by far. It's a bunch of little girls. I beat the shit out of all of them. But
man, you've had a weird string of jokes over the last month or so of beating up women for some reason.
Yeah,
you're not doing. Yeah. You're doing brother incest,
jokes,
brothercest,
jokes,
and beating up young girls.
Good job.
Yeah,
but I am by far the worst at yoga. By far. I mean, these people are incredible. They're in yoga teacher training and they are bending all over the place doing this shit that I could never do. And I have been humbled, Tyler.
Good. Yeah, it's flexibility and endurance. So it's a different set of training than just going to the gym and lifting weights.
Almost the opposite, right?
Yeah.
And so my question to you is this. I don't even have this written down, but this just came into my head. Do you think that psychology comes into play with being flexible?
Yeah, absolutely.
In what?
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
We're good. Everything's good.
Yeah, I would say so, because flexibility is in part taking care of your body, stretching out the muscles, becoming more flexible, allowing your body a wider range of motion. You see a lot of people as they age, and some people who haven't even aged yet, where they're very tight and they have a hard time making certain movements. That'll play hell with your mental health.
Or you can just see by somebody's posture, somebody who's older and they've almost kind of where their head is now coming out from almost between their shoulders, like their clavicle. I look at that now that I'm so fucking enlightened, is like, what stresses have you endured in your life? What are you holding on to? So for me, the moment that we got into this class, the first thing that they said was, we store traumas in our body. And for a lot of these people are taking this course to become stronger. I am taking this course to become weaker. I am taking this course I want to heal inside of myself. There are parts of my body. It's not because I'm not athletic enough. It's because I'm holding like a fucking diamond fist. Is that a thing?
I think it is now.
Sounds like a sex toy. And yesterday I went up on my head for an inversion in the middle of a class, a quiet class. I crashed out hard as fuck, Tyler. I mean, loud enough to where everybody turned around. That was bad for my yoga practice, great for my ego. Great for my ego, because you know what?
Why was it bad for your yoga practice? I would say it's great for both of those things.
You know what I'm saying. I'm doing a little, juxtaposition and a little literal flourish there. I appreciate you letting it go over seamlessly.
Yeah, you got it. I'm here for you, buddy.
Throttle you. You're making yoga really hard, Tyler.
When I did yoga, I had a guy that was doing a position, put his legs up, farted as loud as possible in the middle of the class. I would rather fall on my head during a headstand than that.
Dude.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Now, what happened in that situation?
Well, it echoed very loud because there's
fart.
There's no noise in the room other than the instructor giving very, very peaceful instructions of, okay, now you, and she just continued on as if nothing happened, because of course not.
Of course. I would imagine.
I was going to do point back, oh my God, that guy just farted.
Sir, roll up your mat and get the fuck out of my class, farter. You're a bad yoga teacher.
There ain't no farting up in here.
Grind your anus.
Do a fart in my class. You think you're a fart? Get out of here.
This is an undercover mole from a different yoga studio.
Yeah, I felt bad for him,
Sure.
But he handled it very well. You just keep going.
You just keep going. I've said before that's happened to me in the middle of sexual interludes more than once.
That's rough.
You just got to roll with it.
That's
and
rough.
I had in yoga class where on my mat, if I'm sweaty and I'm doing happy baby or anything on my back, a fart is just waiting to pop out of my back.
Oh, yeah.
And it happened that one time, and then I was trying to do it over again. Being humbled.
I don't think there's any part of my body that I've put my consciousness on more than my butthole just to make sure I don't fart at inopportune times.
Sure, and there's nothing more that helps a romantic situation than concentrating on something other than what it is that you're doing. You know what I mean?
That's true.
There's something to just being, we're all human. I'm not saying go out there and fart, but that's humbling too. I farted and it's just like, I'm a human. What am I going to do?
I agree.
Last time I've ever farted.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to a break because I have got to fart.
Hey everyone. If you're anything like us, you've struggled with depression, anxiety, isolation, or any number of things that hold you back in life.
Or do you procrastinate a little too much? Maybe you've had trouble with self-control or even just going through a tough time. Regardless of whatever it is you're going through, therapy can help.
For me, Ryan, it's completely changed the way I deal with my problems. Even the relationship with my own thoughts have improved dramatically.
And that's why we're excited to tell you about today's sponsor, BetterHelp.
BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more affordable and more accessible. And this is so important to us because finding a therapist can be really hard, especially when you're limited to the options in your area.
BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist easier because it's online, it's remote, and by filling out a few questions, BetterHelp can match you up to a professional therapist in as little as a few days.
It's easy to sign up and get matched with a therapist. Go to betterhelp.com/thoseguys or click on the link in the show's description. Clicking on that link not only supports us, but supports you.
And we want to support you too by giving you 10% off your first month of BetterHelp to connect with a therapist and see if it helps you.
Finding the right therapist is so important, someone that you really connect with, and BetterHelp has made that easier than ever. Switching therapists until you find the right one without having to worry about insurance or any additional fees.
You know, Tyler, when I first had my son, I felt so many emotions that I had never experienced in my life. Therapy really helped me figure out what was going on.
Well, that is betterhelp.com/thoseguys. Help the show by supporting the people that help us.
Those guys.
Two lovers forbidden from one another. A war divides their people, and a mountain divides them apart. Build a path to be together. Yeah, I forget the next couple lines, but then it goes.
You hate.
Secret tunnel, through the mountains. Secret tunnel, yeah.
Those guys you hate.
And we are back, Tyler. How was, never mind, I'm not going to do this. We do this every time.
Yeah.
I was just saying to you over the break, not only did that last segment end musically, and I'm hoping it was as good as I heard it, and also with me, just there's something about yoga that's always attracted to me. I wanted to say to everybody, if you find something out there that calls to you, there's something about it that just makes you more than everything else, no matter whether it's exercise or anything, follow that up. Like you with this thing, with this itch that you have with stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
You don't have regrets at the end of your life and be like, man, what would my life have been like?
I
if
agree
could
with that.
Put myself in a pretzel and soak my own deek. Tyler, that was, as the kids say, cringy. I wish I hadn't said that. Do we have a segment that calls people out for being cringe? Is cringy done? Are we still saying cringy?
It still applies. It's not something
I feel
that's...
like it's on its last leg.
Yeah, I think shameful is really making a name for itself right
Really?
now. Yeah, because
Okay.
there's such lack of shame in the world today. We need to bring it back.
Shame is a valuable resource. It's a necessary tool, isn't it?
Sure.
Why has shame gone away? What I after you do your oof, I have a shameful admission. I'm going to tell you something I am very ashamed of.
Yeah, it's not that shame has gone away. It's just that the people, because there's always been people in society that just don't, it doesn't apply to psychopaths and so on and so forth, and total
Miss
complete
you guys.
total and complete narcissists.
Sure.
Where shame just doesn't affect them, or they're able to just compartmentalize. They're able to just push it off to the side and I'll deal with this later, which is why you see people break down over time, because they've just been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off.
I agree.
And then it eventually they come back, it eventually hits them all at once and they just deteriorate.
They have a mental break.
Or just start getting into drugs or whatever it is.
But what you're saying is that it's always been around. And I agree, of course. People have always been people. We didn't just invent new people. But it seems to be so much more rampant at this moment. Am I crazy? Is our culture that's moving so fast? I think with shame, it's the idea that the world is moving so fast, you're not going to remember my shame tomorrow. That's like the Trump effect, where I give you 700 things that I should be ashamed of. You can't process this information.
That's
you know
exactly
what I mean?
That's exactly right. And I would say this about a lot of people in our government. When I look at Trump, I don't see somebody who thinks very highly of himself or somebody who is very well put together. Like, he seems like he's on the very last leg of his own sanity sometimes.
There's a lot of people out there who would say what you're saying is ridiculous, and I am not one of them. So yeah, it's the thing.
It's a weird way to say you agree with me.
It's
So many people would disagree. I am not one of them, though.
it's just bitter in my mouth when I say that. But I will tell you, as a person who has lived it, narcissism, you think of it as a weapon, but it's truly a shield. Narcissists, those kind of people are I don't want to say the weakest among us, but the most afraid, the ones that are all bluster and are all smoke and mirrors. It's because you're hiding what's truly inside. Enough of that bullshit. Enough of Tyler and I are actually secretly Republicans, so don't get the wrong idea.
I'm going to go and hit you with
Tyler's
one of
part
these.
of the Westboro Baptist Church.
God hates gays. God hates gays.
And flags, if I remember correctly.
I'm just going to go ahead and obviously lead in with a...
Nailed it?
Nailed it. Only 4 tries
I
it
know,
took me.
boy.
The editing made me sound so
You're
smart,
cutting
though.
so much film onto the floor right now.
We are going to talk about the cargo ship container, the cargo container ship, however you say it. Definitely not the container that is a ship.
Tyler, do not make this hilarious.
That crashed into Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge.
Okay, so I have obviously heard about this.
Yeah, it's all over the internet right now.
Huge story.
Yeah.
But I have not seen it.
Yeah.
So I know that I can see the little thumbnail here. We're looking from far away, but it's just the idea of just seeing death.
Yeah, it seems to be a what do you call it? A security camera from a building or something along those lines that captured this image.
And there's just, that thing is filled with cars.
What do you mean?
That bridge is just filled with cars. Like, there's people on that bridge, yes?
There was, I believe, 6 people.
Oh.
6 people on the bridge.
Okay, that's terrible, but okay.
Yes, it was not. That was my initial thought as well. Where like it's rush hour and there are like 1,000 people on the bridge.
Yeah, like the Titanic just went down.
No, they actually saw it coming and they started to evacuate cars and they're getting people out of their cars, getting people out of there. But there was
It's like
still
a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, there was still 6 construction workers that were on the bridge.
Terrible, man.
When it went down. So what is being reported, if you look here, it crashes into one of the structures and just brings down the whole thing, just topples all of it.
Now, can I ask, because I love to play this game where I pretend like I'm just somebody who knows nothing, what was going on with the boat? Why couldn't they stop the boat?
What is being reported is that the boat suffered complete and total electrical failure. The engines went out, the lights went out, everything went out on the ship. And so they still had rudder control. They could turn it left to right, but the ship is so fucking heavy. And because physics exists, it could not turn enough to not crash into the bridge.
I'm glad you said that. It's time for physics day in court because this is insane. That's That's awful. Thank God it was only 6 people, but that is of no solace to those 6 families.
No, of course
and
not.
the people who knew them. I mean, it's not just 6 families. That's awful.
Yeah. So far they know 3 people. Or it was maybe, I think, a little bit more than 6 people because 1 person survived with major injuries who's in the hospital right now.
Because you're falling with all that concrete and everything is just coming down around your ears.
It's just shrapnel all around you
everywhere.
as you're hitting terminal velocity probably. So it's terrifying.
Well, it's not that high up, but I understand your point.
Regardless, you're going fast through the air. And on top of it, as you said, all that concrete, you're landing. It's like jumping off of a small waterfall and landing with like rocks below. I mean, that's if you survive that.
Well, and above. I think the above is your serious problem.
Also that.
Yeah.
Also that.
Like
so,
you hit the water and that stops you like concrete. And now you have pieces of bridge that are 50 times your size.
You've become meat in the middle of a sandwich.
Terrible.
Yeah,
That's
concrete
really awful.
sandwich.
I'm glad you did this.
So
Thank you.
they did. Two bodies have been found. Two people have died for sure. One person is in critical condition, I believe, still, and there's at least 4 or 5 people that are still missing. Obviously, presumed dead. If they haven't been found yet,
Sure.
Then, and I'm only, for this one, this is just a tragedy. It seemingly is nobody's fault. Like, this isn't a terrorist attack. This isn't, it's just an act of God.
It's not like that cruise ship in Italy. What was the Italian one where the guy was like getting in too close to the island and crashed it?
He wanted to show off a little bit.
And then got the fuck out of there like a rat deserting a ship. No offense to rats. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and killed a whole bunch of people.
That's crazy.
This one was seemingly...
we'll see. It'll all come out.
Seemingly, we'll see what happens. My hearts go out to the people who suffered from that. And if you see the photo, once it happened, that is a major shipping lane. So somebody took a photo. There are like 8 cargo ships dotting the seascape all the way out that are just had to sit out there.
Sure.
So
Because all those bridge pieces and
they can't get through.
Crime scene. It's all crazy.
So Pete Buttigieg, who is the Department of Transportation's head.
Whom?
Pete Buttigieg, I believe.
Oh, I thought that I only heard the last name. That was his name, Buttigieg.
No.
Really?
Pete Buttigieg. I think I'm saying it correctly.
All right.
He says the investigation could take up to 2
Pete?
years.
Okay.
Pete. His name's Pete.
All right.
Pete. Old Petey boy. So for this
Terrible.
For this situation, I'm just gonna give it a single somber.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all. That's all you get.
We're laughing to lighten the situation.
Yep.
It's terrible. Our hearts goes out to everybody, of course. I hope that goes without saying. Comedy podcast. All right, Tyler. I am going to do a quick little shameful admission, and then we'll see where the clock is at.
All right.
There it is.
Nailed it.
This is a real one. They're all real ones. I wouldn't make something up. It would defeat the purpose. Mm-hmm. And I want you to tell me the level of creepiness. Now rate this on a scale of when I told you that I like some woman's skin. I remember you looking at me in a way that I didn't say I wanted to wear it. I just said she has young skin.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. That's
You're the one being defensive.
that's fine with me. I
okay,
guess.
fine. Tell me where that rates on that level. I like to keep my eyes open while kissing.
Oh, that's fucking weird, man. No. That can't be true. You can't. You can't stare like that.
I do. I do like to. I don't do it like that. Here, look at me. For the social media audience.
Oh.
I don't do it like that. And as a matter of fact, I don't do it, generally speaking, because I'm aware of social norms.
Yeah.
I get it.
Well, and also the creepy crawly feelings you would get over the woman's skin.
You've never opened up your eyes while kissing?
No.
And what makes you assume that it's a woman?
That's actually a fair point. 2024.
Okay.
You're absolutely right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It is a woman, by the way, if anybody's asking.
Yeah. And a beautiful woman.
Beautiful.
The hottest one.
I am
you just wouldn't know her. She goes to a different high school.
She does go to it. I promise. You've met her parents. I do. There's something about, I'm a very visual person, and there's something about it, but nonetheless, there's many things that I don't do because I'm aware of social norms, but that I would like to. Mm-hmm. So,
I would love that list.
I
would love it.
I very much regret even bringing this up in the first place. So I will never give you another piece of who I truly am. But there's something about it, just taking in the whole situation. But if they ever open up their eyes and your eyes are open, you got a lot of explaining to do. It's like,
well, wouldn't you both be guilty of it then? Like, how did you know that my eyes were open? You could only know that if you opened your eyes.
Gotcha.
Boom.
It's like when you're playing Heads Up 7-Up and somebody calls you out.
Yeah.
Like, how'd you know, Becky, you little bitch?
Yeah, well.
Tyler, would you rather poop out of your mouth or have someone else poop in your mouth?
Is the pooping in my mouth the one time? But pooping out of my mouth is a constant thing?
You know what? The internet didn't give me. Let's make up our own rules.
Okay, go ahead.
We'll
You
call
tell
it a
me.
one-timer.
A one-timer on one, but all the time on the other.
Fuck. Well, you poop. Fuck, man. You're bringing it today,
Yeah.
dude. Let's do both. One time only.
I would still go
For me, it's the same both times.
Yeah, for me too. It would be poop in my mouth because if it's pooping...
No, wait, you're having somebody poop in your mouth?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, because if I'm pooping out of my mouth, that means it's coming from inside my body. There's a lot... Instead of it just getting in my mouth, it'd be in my esophagus, in my stomach.
Wow.
I'd probably inhale from disgust and it get in my lungs. You know? I don't know if you can get bronchitis from shit, but I probably would.
Oh, he's got pink throat.
Yeah. Yeah, so definitely in, and then I would spit out.
Yeah, I picture you at like one of those mouth-washing things at the dentist, you know?
Yeah, but it would have to come through a hole in a hammock.
See, I didn't even, okay, that's a callback. I didn't even think of that. For me, I was thinking I would rather poop out of my mouth because in both circumstances, I have poop in my mouth. Why would I want to involve somebody else in this situation that is deeply horrible?
That's true. But that's one of those things where it's not like, hey, my germs are fine because they're mine. Anybody's shit, whether it be somebody else's or yours, it's all bad for you.
No. If I said to you, and man, this show is falling apart.
Going
but
from
if I
yoga
said,
to poop in your mouth.
If I said I have your poop or I have a stranger's poop, whose are you putting in your mouth? You're taking your poop every time.
Of course I am.
If you get your own poop on your hands, I mean, you don't want it, but you're like, yeah. If I get a stranger's poop on my hand, I am cutting the hand.
You're
off.
having a good time.
I love this party. Let's take a break.